Hello, I love you. Won't you tell me your name? Hello, everybody. Thank you for clicking on. We are officially streaming on YouTube if everything is right in the studio here. And the monitor is telling me that we are on. And I will say thank you for clicking on. Hit the like, subscribe, share. And tonight we're going to have the latest news. We got the daily Vance. And we're going to talk about some things that happened in court today and weird, creepy, and dangerous. So, with all that being said, again, thank you very much for being here. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share, notification bell so you know when we are on. And let's get rolling. We'll begin with the flight tracker. I was on earlier and there was a lot of chatter that that tonight was going to be the night of Iran taking vengeance against Israel. Um, Flight radar is showing pretty much consistent um, traffic with what we would expect. It had cleared out earlier, both over Iraq and Iran. Still U.S. Navy or still U.S. Air Force planes over Iraq. Um, but at the moment, I do not think we're going to see anything coming from Iran, at least in the next several hours. And again, my hope is that nothing happens at all. But you know, with that um, the way that the governments are telling their people to leave the areas, everything is pointing towards major conflict. As always, the hope is that that does not happen, and because nothing good will come of it. Just nothing good will come of it. So I want to start out tonight, since we started out with flight radar and talking about airplanes. I had this all queued up, and now we don't. There we go, about right there. Um, these are F-22 Raptors. Um, Lockheed Martin, Boeing F-22 Raptors. They're coming into the Air Force Base in Great Britain, uh, Lakenheath Air Force Base. And if you like planes, you're going to like this. But if you're wondering why the U.S. can let Ukraine have F-16s, it's
We're actually going to do a.
so despite their volume, they are stealth fighters. You cannot easily identify them on radar. They can carry nuclear armaments, nuclear capable jet fighting platform, the F-22, and they have moved from Alaska to temporary station for either 1 or 2 days in England, and then they will be moving to the Middle East for potential engagement. Taylor Swift has given approval to the Harris Waltz campaign to use her song catalog. So basically, any song that Harris Walz wants to use, including at rallies and the Democratic convention. Beyonce has done the same thing as well. Olivia has been getting asked the question a lot. Can my husband find out who I'm voting for in the presidential election? Just the fact that questions being asked makes you contemplate why. Why would people ask that? Well, they're considering voting in a way that maybe their husband does not approve. Um, this was earlier today in Michigan, J.D. Vance rally. Um, Anarchy Princess, who we're going to be discussing later on in today in court. She said that she went to a rally in Philadelphia for J.D. Vance, and there were bigger crowds at a mid-sized wedding. So we'll show a comparison and contrast coming up here as um, what kind of crowd you see here and what kind of crowd was at the Wisconsin event for Harris and Walz. But first, we've got our daily Vance. Um, he was in front of maybe 40 or 50 people while he was in their warehouse where they work, set up for a speech. And he was asked, I don't know if we got the question or not, but he was asked, why would somebody from Wisconsin want to have a beer with you?
Why would people in Wisconsin want to have a beer with you?
Well,
The laugh is just that laugh is I'm doing this so my mind has time to come up with an answer. It wasn't a genuine laugh, but
I guess they'd want to have a beer with me because I actually do like to drink beer, and I probably like to drink beer a little bit too much, but that's okay. I'm sure the media won't give me too much crap over that. But
it's horrible politics.
look, I mean, my the reason I'm doing this, and the reason I think Donald Trump is doing this, and I think the media often slanders him, but I've never met a guy who likes normal people more than Donald Trump.
That's the end of the cut. Donald Trump, yeah, just your regular
Why
old.
would people in Wisconsin want to have
Oh,
a beer with you?
again,
Well,
that laugh is just disingenuous. Um, okay, here we go. Fox, this is from Fox. Streaming channel shows J.D. Vance's Eclair rally compared to the rally for Kamala and Tim. Again, um, Vance is at a rally with a bunch of people that are at work, and this rally from Eau Claire, Wisconsin, early, and Waltz even got there. There were, you hear Trump all the time saying, "Oh, there's 8,000 people outside that could not get in," and then you see all the empty seats, and you find these people to come to his events, and once they've fulfilled their obligation of being there for a set amount of time, they leave. Um, and that explains, I got asked the other day, hey, where's all the money going? Because Trump has closed down all of the Trump has closed down all of the field offices. Now, for those that don't know, a field office is like, um, depending on how big your campaign is, if let's say you're running for Congress, all right, and you're running for Congress, I'll use what we did. You're running for Congress, and you gotta cover 19 counties, all right. So you can't afford to put an office in every county, but the county parties put up offices, and you can use theirs um, to operate out of, or you put up your own separate offices, like in 4 or 5 different counties that cover other counties as well as the county you're setting your office up in, and that's how you build um, your grassroots ground efforts, by being on the ground, being in those offices, so people know that, hey, the candidate's going to be here on this day, blah 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 blah. Well, the Trump campaign has closed all of their offices, basically all of their offices nationally, and that you only do that if you don't have enough money or you don't care. Um, and the person that asked me said, they got the money, but where's the money going? Because he's not running ads. Where's all this money going? Well, you got to pay people to come and see you. You got to pay people to protest for you. You got to pay live streamers to say whatever you tell them to say in order for them, in order to make you look good. Influencers. So there are two types. There are two types of Trump supporters, in my opinion. There are two types of Trump supporters. There are those that are getting played and those that are getting paid. And if you're a Trump supporter that's not getting paid, guess which category you might be in. Just something to think about, because that's what we do here. We just give you things to think about. And let me share back to here. There were, I don't know, maybe 12,000 people at this first rally today in Wisconsin for Harris Walz. Okay, I came on earlier today, and the other thing I said, other than what was going on with the radar and what was going on with the scuttlebutt about Egypt Air, the other thing I pointed out was the Houthis had come on and said that they had attacked U.S. warships, and that I did not have confirmation from the U.S. government at that time. This came in an hour ago. In the past 24 hours, U.S. Central Command forces successfully destroyed 2 Iranian-backed Houthi uncrewed aerial vehicles, drones, 1 Houthi ground control station, and 3 Houthi anti-ship cruise missiles in Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen. And these weapons present a clear and imminent threat to the U.S. coalition forces and merchant vessels in the region. This reckless and dangerous behavior by Iranian-backed Houthis continues to threaten regional stability and security. So that is the official U.S. Central Command statement regarding the activities today between the U.S. and Houthi rebels in Yemen. Pole vaulter Anthony Ammirati, who knocked down the bar with his groin at the Olympics, has received a job offer in the porn industry. A well-known porn site offered Ammirati a fee of $250,000 for filming a 1-hour-long webcam. This amount is 3 times what France would have paid him for winning a gold medal. So this came in from Scott McFarland, CBS News. President Biden says he's not confident of a peaceful transfer of power if Trump does lose. Quote, he means what he says. This is Biden's quote. He means what he says. We don't take him seriously. He means it. All the stuff about if we lose, there'll be a bloodbath. It'll have been a stolen election, end quote. Biden may have never said anything more true. This part right here, people do not take what Trump is saying seriously, especially when he talks about things like bloodbath. Again, just, something to think about as we are about 90 days out from Election Day. American streamer Aiden Ross gave Trump a Cybertruck covered with footage of the Butler County incident. First of all, if Trump accepts this, this is probably an illegal campaign contribution. Not that, that's going to be the biggest of deals, but this will be looked at as to whether it's legal. And then um,
See the Secret Service agents here?
Yeah.
They're angry and they put smiles on their face.
Right.
You heard about that?
Yeah. No.
all right. So this kid, Aiden Ross, who is he? Well, let's find out who Aiden is. All right, let's start with this. Uh, just going to show you the title. Aiden Ross, because they've got footage. Aiden Ross sniffs Karina's chair when she goes to the bathroom. Now that might be, um, that might be something that people are into. Um, it's weird for a lot of us. It's weird. It's creepy. Um, the streaming superstar met Andrew Tate, and after this is Aiden Ross they're talking about. He's a streaming superstar, evidently, and started platforming white supremacists after that. And he also there's video of him sniffing Andrew Tate's chair um, when he got up and left the interview. Um, I wish it wasn't true, but if you Google um, Aiden Ross sniffs chairs, which I was told to do, there is there is a bunch of Aiden Ross doing chair sniffing, even with a nurse. It sniffed Andrew Tate's chair after Andrew Tate's chair after a chess match. I don't know. It's maybe maybe I'm like L7 or L7. There we go. Totally square. I don't really think so, but so this is weird. All right. So why did Trump do this? Well, he's got horrible political advisors, including his son Barron. Trump said it was his son Barron who pushed him to do unhinged interview with right-wing streamer Aiden Ross. And Here, Aiden Ross sniffed Andrew Tate's chair upon him leaving the room. I wish I was making this up. I wish you were too. All right, let's get back to some like normal, real politics. Americans largely split on Walz as Harris's running mate in a survey. This comes from The Hill, and this came out at 8:30 this morning, so it is current. Um, what I want to point out about this, I agree with this. Americans nearly evenly split between enthusiasm and uncertainty over vice president selection Tim Walz as running mate. The reason is people don't know who Tim Walz is yet, and uh, offended or confused. They're uncertain. They don't know who this guy is yet. And I'm telling you, the more people get to know Tim Walz, um, the better it's going to be for this ticket. So, with that being said, I'm gonna get done earlier. This is from Republican pollster Frank Luntz. If you know who, if you're a Republican, if you're into politics at all, you know who Luntz is. Here's what he has to say. After, again, I'm telling you, Tim Walz is a good man, and I've known him since 2006. It's not like we communicate consistently or anything like that. It just um, you're going to like Tim Walz if you don't know who he is. So much so that here's what Luntz has to say. Hang on a second. I just got notification. Thank you very much. That browser's lost connection to the. Okay, my studio lost connection to. Um, so let me pop out of this and I'll reboot. I won't have to do the intro again because I'm pretty sure you heard the intro. You just didn't hear the volume. I'm not sure why StreamYard's been doing this to me, but let's see if we can catch it this time.
Do you think she picked him?
He's the safe choice. If I was in her situation, I would have gone with the governor of Pennsylvania because he definitely brings the state, and Pennsylvania is the largest of all the swing states that are out there.
And that's
He would
Joe
have
Shapiro.
provided more electoral votes. But let me emphasize, I do believe, and I understand the importance of what I'm about to say, that Vice President Harris is now the front runner in this race. I know that Trump people, their minds will explode, but Harris has got the intensity. She's got momentum. She's bringing people back into the political fold that had left when Joe Biden was going to be the candidate. That Donald Trump has made a series of misstatements, that his vice presidential choice has not done well. And Tim Walz is a good speaker, very presentable, knows the issues, and mirrors her point of view. I still would not have done that because the goal right now is to win those states that matter the most, because we're not a simple national democracy. You have to win the electoral college, as was shown in 2016. But the combination of her being a front runner and Walz being a good speaker, she's got the wind at her back, and she hasn't even gone through the 4 days of the convention yet, which will be yet another bounce for her.
Frank, can I just interrupt you to ask you, is that...
Yeah. Again, as I don't know if I've said it on here. I put it on Twitter that there's going to be a bounce, probably a 3 to 5 point bounce with Walz coming on initially. Once people get to know him, that will solidify support, and the convention is still coming. And after a 4-day convention, legitimately run political parties will expect a 3 to 5 point bounce coming out of the convention. Donald Trump did not get any bounce naming JD Vance. He did not get any bounce coming after that convention that was just basically glorified ego trip. It spoke nothing to the voters other than his diehards, and you can't win without the middle. Tim Walz is going to reach the middle. And this is not going to hurt them at all. I got even more Taylor Swift news. On Tuesday, August, 27th, 7 p.m., the Swifties will unite. They are going to have their first kickoff call. And if that doesn't terrify the Trump people, I don't know what will, because the Swifties are intense, and they support what they support, and they do it wholeheartedly. And they're going to have an organized kickoff call, organizing efforts of protecting democracy by working together to elect Vice President Kamala Harris. Look for as Swift begins her North American tour, begins her tour of the United States. Look for voting booths, not voting booths, but voter registration booths, and possibly campaign activities going on. But if you get the Swifties, if you get Beyonce, if you get women who are trying to find out if it's okay to vote, that their husband won't find out who they actually voted for, and a lot of Republicans are being very quiet. They're not saying who they're going to vote for. Some of them are probably even telling pollsters, yeah, I'll still vote for him because he's Republican. But when push comes to shove, um, this is not going to be a stolen election. But yet there are going to be those that not only believe that, but champion that and trumpet that. Um, so we need to be ready. All right. I touched on this last night. It hadn't gotten a lot of attention, but Ukraine invaded Russia. All right. I know Russia invaded Ukraine 2 years ago, but 2 days ago, Ukraine invaded Russia out of this Sumy Oblast. And Ukrainian armed forces now control the Sudeza gas metering station in Russia. Nearly 50% of all Russian gas exports to the European Union flow through this station. So if they if Ukraine cuts off the supply of gas to the European Union, now that it's hot, it's not going to be as big a deal as it would be in the winter when they're trying to heat their homes. And it will cut off a major source of funds for Russia. They're in position to do so. They are also close to being in position to. They are 1 hour away from the Kursk nuclear power plant. And again, this gives you here's the Kursk power plant, and here is the point as of right now that Ukraine has pushed into Russia. Yes, Ukraine has invaded Russia. Did not tell the United States it was going to happen, and has pulled it off completely all on their own. And the question now becomes, because before it was Ukraine couldn't use U.S. weapons to attack Russia from Ukraine. But now that Ukraine is in Russia, can they use U.S. weapons fired from Russia to attack Russia? As always, it's just a little something to think about. Reports of Iranian troop movements in the western regions. Okay, Iran is not going to launch a invasion of Iran or an invasion of Israel, such as Israel launched in the invasion into Gaza. All right, Iran is not going to come with a lot of troops and invade Israel. These troop movements are defensive postures for counter strikes, in my opinion. We'll see how it all plays out. Again, we got to keep hoping that absolutely nothing happens, that Iran figures out this is a war that maybe we can't win and we really don't want to fight. So we've got to save face, which is what happened back in April. And hopefully that's what happens again. All right. We talked about the rally Harrison Walz had in Wisconsin. I was on the ticket with I was on the ticket with the first black president of the United States back in 2008, and I didn't go to other states for his rallies, but of course I went to all the rallies that were here in Indiana that he had, and he was drawing massive crowds in Indiana. This is something we have not seen from the Democratic side since then. Bernie drew some incredible crowds, massive crowds, but Biden never drew anything like what you're about to see here. I got to get rid of the music before we don't get a copyright strike. All right, this is an event in Michigan. This event was originally supposed to be held in an arena, but over 60,000 people had requested tickets, and it was moved to an airplane hangar, as you can see. And even then, there were still probably 20 to 25,000 waiting outside. for real, waiting outside behind the barricades. And here's what it looked like when they pulled up. You see the plane open. Let me see if we. A massive crowd waiting for the pullback here. Here we go. Pull back to show you the actual size of the crowd. And that's this is just their fourth rally. Two more rallies planned for tomorrow, and then nothing but steady campaigning and trying to keep the momentum they now have. Again, we talked about Iran may be rethinking launching a multi-pronged attack on Israel. U.S. officials say, adding that they do anticipate some kind of Iranian response, but that Iran seems to have recalibrated. U.S. does not expect an imminent attack on Israel. This is one of many misleading or potentially misleading things that have been coming out. This was in Politico, and I also, somebody sent me a thing that said, this is not going to happen until probably after prayers on Friday, which would mean going into Saturday, the holy day for Israel, after the holy day for the Islamic community, which is Friday. So again, my hope, and it should be your hope too, is that nothing happens, because not only will there be horrific loss of life, the impacts will be felt all around the world, from supply chain to inflation to possible attacks wherever you may be. Iran's permanent, this came in 3 hours ago, Iran's permanent mission to the United Nations stated that their first priority is and always has been a ceasefire, and that Israel's withdrawal from the Gaza Strip, and that if these are done, they may rethink moving forward with their retaliatory strikes. So bargaining is going on behind the scenes, and that is always encouraging to be on the side of democracy and not on the side of warfare, and to be on the side of diplomacy and not warfare. Okay, I said I had more Taylor Swift news. 3 sold-out Taylor Swift concerts were supposed to happen in Austria, in Vienna, Austria, and they were going to happen this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. There was a plot by ISIS to launch a chemical terrorist attack on the concert venue. 2 of the plotters have been captured. 3 to 5 others are still on the loose, and the only thing you can do is cancel in a situation like that. And finally here, never forget the Trump family was disallowed from operating any charity in the state of New York because they stole from a kids' cancer charity. This gets forgotten so many times. A kids' cancer charity. I mean, and this is from Forbes. All right, just so you know, it's from Forbes magazine. How Donald Trump shifted kids' cancer charity money into his business. I don't know. And this, again, we had this afternoon. The U.S. coal and Laboon were indeed targeted today, but no report of any damage. And that comes from CENTCOM. All right, so the other thing to talk about here briefly is today in court. And first of all, hi, butterflies are free. Hi, Nancy McMonarch, a type of butterfly, of course. Not McMonarch, but monarch. And Lori Arnold, hello, Lori. Thank you for the no sound notification. And thank you all for being here. All right. I'm just going to talk for a couple of minutes, and I may go more in depth on this tomorrow night. What was it? 2 years ago now, I guess. We started out. I'm doing the show like I was doing the show like I do now, and somebody sent me a tip, as I get a lot of tips. Somebody sent me a tip, and it had a link to a video by this guy named Santa, who said he was going to go into DC, and he's going in there with teeth. And hang on a second. Let me see if somebody's notifying me something that's not working. Okay. All right. I've got a surprise for everybody. There we go. Let me drop this. Hey, Shalom. Shalom. True, how are you? Let me drop this in here. I just got some notification. There we go. The in court today, something happened, and I was talking about how 2 years ago I learned of this group. Now I had done it, and the reason I learned of this group because I'd done a story about how protesters were shooting guns on the interstate up at Portland, shooting at people over an overpass. And hang on, let's see if we can. There we go. Hang on just a second. And so somebody sent me this thing about this guy that was going to go into DC, and he was going to finish what they started. So I started paying attention to him, and eventually started doing segments on them like a couple of times a week. It was a group called 1776 Restoration Movement, and then it became these fascinating people that were standing up against this 1776 Restoration Movement, known as the opposition. And they were known as many different things, but several, I had several different people on from that time, including our special guest, Lori Arnold. Lori, you're muted. Lori. Oh, Lori disappeared. All right. And I was going to have Lori talk about court today, because I brought all this other stuff up because in court today, from all of that evolved this thing called Freedom Corner that protests the January 6th incarcerations. Let me see if we can get Lori back up here. Lori Arnold, are you there?
I'm here. Sorry, I was messing with my
How are
avatar
you?
picture. Hi, Barry.
Oh, you want to put an avatar up?
Well, I was trying to put a little like picture up or something, and then you were calling me on. I get very confused.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me. You want me to put you back down so you can get an avatar up?
No. We're fine.
Okay. All right. So, today in court, two characters that have come out of what was the summer of Chud, were one was a defendant and one was on trial. Anarchy Princess and Steve. Did Steve, did Steve have
Jericho.
it? Yeah, Steve has the last name. Oh, he went by Jericho Steve or Steve
Yeah,
Jericho or
yeah, he was always Jericho. That's his handle on YouTube.
okay. All right. All right. And he, for those that don't know, Lori, why don't you explain what he did? Why
What
why
he
he
d
was on
Oh,
why he was on trial?
oh, why he was on trial. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it was when it wasn't actually at Freedom Corner what he did. It was during a Peter Navarro
Right.
um like press kind of a press thing outside of the court. But yeah, when Peter Navarro was there, I believe at that time AP had already had some success with holding a sign behind during some kind of press conference. And so she was trying to get again behind him with a sign so that it would get on national media.
Hmm.
And she kind of had to maneuver in there. And I mean, this is all on video. And the court saw this. She had to kind of maneuver in there, which she did. I mean, it's crowded conditions. We're used to that as protesters. And people who, when you're trying to vie in these crowds and stuff. And so I've had experience with that. Being a smaller person, you can kind of, weave your way in between things and stuff. And she did. She weaved her way in there, and she in his view and in his words at court, um, took his spot, is what he thought. His position. She was in front of him, and he could no longer be seen on the media, and he took his flagpole out of the planter and looked right at her and put his flagpole between her legs, right where her genital like area, kind of, and her butt.
Yep.
And he tried to deny it at court, but he did it. It's all on video. And again, another Freedom Corner person, Rebecca, got it all on video, got a really good view of it. Really good. You can watch him like look down at her. You can see him place the flagpole between her legs. And the judge saw that.
And let, you mentioned Rebecca. Rebecca is not her real name. She's Chinese, right?
Yes, she's from a group of like they were with the People's Convoy too. Like I don't want to say with, but they kept coming to the People's Convoy and like cooking for the convoy and stuff like that. And they go to Freedom Corner, and she
And
pays
go ahead.
pays
She
live
pays.
streamers. She pays live streamers there on multiple live streams. Again, they live stream everything. So she has been seen giving the live streamers down there checks.
Yeah.
So
So if you support Trump, you're either getting paid or you're getting played. And those people on J6, the reason they're down there night after night after night is because they get paid. And they tried to make it seem like that's what Anarchy Princess was trying to do. Was
yes,
the only reason she was trying to call attention to this is so that she would make money off of it. And I mean, you were how should I say this? Um you were attacked with a mammary, were you not?
yes, yes, I was boob bumped. Yes, chest bumped with boobs. Yes, by Mickey. Yes, I was, and it's simply standing there and like having like them hit me with signs, and stuff. It was just ridiculous. But you know what I saw, Barry, as a woman watching it, um, I saw victim shaming, blaming the woman, the victim, of the sexual assault, blaming her.
Hmm.
And then it was an accident. So it was her fault. And then it was not, I didn't mean to. It was just, it kind of slipped. But the judge, oh, I was so happy when she started talking, and like she saw the whole situation for what it was. If I can
Right.
kind of go tell people
Please.
about that,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I was impressed. because the judge wasn't like just one side or the other side like that. And she was saying that this was a group. She could tell, she knew that these were people, like it's a smaller world when you're going to different protests and stuff, and that you start to get to know, like you see this person or that person, you recognize them, there's interactions between you. It sometimes can be contentious where you don't really like each other, you have very strong views that are opposite of each other, and that you can get it can get very tense, it can get, but you're not allowed to put your hands on another person. And that's what he did. And she called him out for it. She told him it was very obvious that he was put out, that the slight that he saw by her taking his spot, and it upset him. And in the moment, he decided to use his flagpole that way to assault her with that, and in that way, in a sexual way. And that it was right in front of all the cameras, national news, and that it was made to make her feel bad, and to embarrass her. And I'm glad the judge saw that, and she called him out for it. So, but he doesn't seem to realize that. I was hoping he would take from what the judge said, because she said it in such a great way. Her view was so like middle of the road, like, hey, here's what I just saw, without taking a side, and you were wrong.
Okay. Um, I viewed it as, okay, he was found guilty, so everybody knows. The judge found him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The video was the prime reason, because it showed exactly what he did. Um, and then it came time for sentencing, and AP was fine with him not going to jail. How did you feel about that?
Uh okay, so maybe I'm a meanie. I figured he should get some jail time. I understand why they did that, like the prosecutor, they kind of play, yeah, it's his first offense, all this stuff, but I think they just don't learn. It's obvious, because like he's right now down at the corner claiming victory for this.
See, that was the next thing. That was going to be my follow up. The judge did this in hopes that he would figure out that, hey, I did something wrong, I can't do that anymore, and she was rather lenient on him, and
Hmm.
AP was okay with that. And the thing I was going to ask is, do you think it's going to work? And obviously, it's not going to work if he's on the corner right now, or was on the corner tonight, talking about how it was a victory.
Yes, not only him, but Nicole from the corner. There were quite a few there. Glory B was there. I think there were probably, I think, 4 or 5. But I actually heard them, some of them talking down there, and they're trying to say this was some kind of victory for Jericho, because he didn't take any plea deals, and he stuck it out, and he made him at least do the process, even though he was found guilty. He forced, so he's the winner and all this stuff, but they won't get down to the meat of it, which is that there was a video. It's been on video all the time. Their own people put it out. It's still up. Rebecca still has it up. They didn't learn.
Yeah. All
And
right.
and I wish they had, because Barry, um as a protester and in these situations, I think it's important that people remember that golden rule of, it's okay to disagree. It's okay to sit and yeah, sometimes you do say things that aren't so nice or whatever, and you disagree on things and you get very passionate, but you're not allowed to put your hands on each other.
Yeah.
And I was hoping this group with 1776 RM and Freedom Corner, which Steve is both, that they would hopefully learn, because a lot of them have been putting their hands on people and assaulting people.
Tommy being one of them.
Yes, well, you know what? There are consequences, though. They can play it off, but I think that they're scrambling because He got 180 days in jail, which if he does something, he will have to serve that because it's suspended. He got 18 months probation. Which in during that time he cannot be around AP, so he's got a PO on him. He has to pay $100. What else? Got the. Do you remember? Was there anything else?
I don't think there was. Because they were discussing whether he would go to anger management assessment, drug and alcohol
Yeah.
assessment, and the judge said, I don't see as drugs or alcohol played a part in this. I don't think she enforced any of
Or
those
the sexual
requirements.
abuse stuff, the sexual abuse assessment,
Yeah,
like abuser assessment.
yeah. Um, I think he probably at least should have had the anger management um, thing
Yes.
required, but
Yes.
they were very lenient to him. Um, Hello, pluck the patriarchy. Hey, boss money, what are you doing in here, man? Hello. Again, thank you all for clicking on. Okay, um, let's gossip a little bit. What do you think?
That sounds good.
All right. Since we talked about this has been kind of 1776 RM Freedom Corner. Um, AP has been front and center for a lot of it. Um, and she mentioned she did a stream that I watched. You and I both watched the court thing today. Um,
Hmm.
and she did a stream and mentioned van guy that's now, I guess, RV guy. Um, do you know what's going on there? Any idea what's going on with him?
um, so I have heard something, which is funny. So somebody, I don't even know who it is, but I saw it. Somebody put out a call because he is going to be touring with his girlfriend. His girlfriend's going on tour, doing some singing at I think clubs maybe or something, um, bars, whatever.
Ant?
But
Are we talking
yes,
about the same?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
first of all, Anne has a girlfriend.
yes. And from the anti-Scientology stuff, her name is Laura.
No, not Laura.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So
Okay, Laura.
wait. This gets good.
All right, all right, all right. I'm gonna light up a cigar here.
You need it.
All right.
Might need something stronger.
No,
So,
I live in Indiana. It's not legal here. It is legal in Ohio now. 90
oh wow,
minutes
that's good.
away. Yeah. So Indiana's basically surrounded. It's legal in Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, and Kentucky. I think it's still just medical in Kentucky, but Um,
Okay, don't let me forget here. Okay,
all right, go ahead.
so he is going to be
He's
supposedly
going.
going with her. That's his new thing right now. And so somebody put out a call to action for all the live streamers and protests, and they're paying people to protest him. It's 30, I think it's $35 if you're a live per hour if you're a live streamer, and then they pay if you only do bullhorns, and then only if you only do like or the siren, and then if you only do something else. It's so much that sign if you just hold a sign and don't do a bullhorn. But so they're paying people, they're even paying expenses, possibly paying expenses. So like
Well, let's go to
if
LA. Come
yeah,
on.
if you need expenses to get there
Yes,
and
I
you will
do. I need
protest him.
expenses to get there, and I will live stream it.
They will,
Yeah.
yes, yes. There's
Is
yeah.
this Aaron? Is he the one paying? If it is
No, but
a
I don't think anybody
Aaron,
knows. I don't
send
think
me.
anybody
Oh,
knows.
that's all right. Send me some money. Um, hey,
That's
I've got somebody that'll take care of locally for a couple of days, and I'll fly to LA and live stream
yeah.
a uh, a protest of it might be epic proportion. Who
Would
knows?
that be? Well, I thought about just going. Here was my thoughts on that. There might be some people there that I really like. I don't want to be associated with the pedo group people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And And so I figured that I wouldn't mind going down and just live streaming the whole debacle itself. Just standing to the side and watching both sides like I
Yeah,
usually do.
that's what I would be doing. Yeah, I'd be broadcasting it, not commenting on a lot of things.
But
Kind
the
of like what
content.
Yeah, kind of like what we did when we were out in Indianapolis for the Israeli Gaza thing.
Oh,
That seems so long ago. Um,
it
that
does.
Yeah, and that was really before all the big stuff started happening. Before it was really, um,
When it
you
first
know,
started.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hi,
Yeah,
peace,
so
love,
that
and
was one thing.
sunshine. Um, okay. All right. That was one thing.
That was one of the
Anything else?
things.
What
Oh
else you
yes.
got?
Well, so there is another one I've been keeping an eye on, and that is I got to think here for a second of his name. His name is Brian Dunker, the dude in Oklahoma, the pedophile guy. That's the preacher. What is his outlaw reform
Okay,
ministries?
this is the guy that tried to get into the convoy that was going to the border, right?
Yes, that I
Okay.
protested against him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay. All
so
right.
he has found the funds to buy a building for a church. And he has been renovating it, and he's going to be opening it in
Okay.
this community over in Oklahoma. And so he's not on the Oklahoma registry because of a loophole, but he's on the Texas registry for life. So he may be getting a visit. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
keeping an eye on that.
are you talking about driving to LA to cover this?
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
That's the Route 66 thing.
Oh yeah. See, we just found a way to get paid to go down Route 66.
That'd be all right. Be all right. I guarantee you we would do a better job of it than what's his name? I forget the guy's name. Uh, the Florida dude
Oh
that
yeah,
that
Wyckoff.
Wyckoff. Yeah.
We could even have Pluck with us.
Yeah, of course we could have Pluck with us. Yes, I'm sure Oakley and Pluck's dog would get along fine.
Oh yeah.
And I wouldn't have to worry about um, somebody taking care of Oakley. Anyway,
I've been
we're
down here. I've been in Virginia with Pluck here for a little bit. So I'm visiting here for a little bit. And we have been we got some things going on behind the scenes that we're getting ready for. So
cool.
I can't really talk about them right now, but they'll be interesting. We'll see what happens.
Yes, and I was hoping Pluck would be on. So next time I'll do it a little bit earlier so that we can get Pluck on.
Yeah.
Because I know it's late for you guys. Because out of the original group that went to what the Bunker Hill. See, it's been a long time since I thought about these things. Um,
Hmm.
but the original gang that went to Bunker Hill, Pluck's the only one that I haven't had on.
Oh, you should.
Yeah, I got to like make the set.
Yeah,
Bring things full circle.
she actually was a big part of it, and a lot of people forget to put her name and stuff, but
Right.
she
Exactly. Yeah, she doesn't because she was there, one of the first ones there. Um,
yes.
and she doesn't get credit for, what she put into all of that. Um, so yeah,
She
I
has
want to
had
get
some iconic moments.
yes, yes. So I want to get her on the channel sometime. Um, and in thinking back on, I was thinking back on the 1776 people themselves with all this, the weird, creepy, dangerous, that uh, Trump and JD Vance and MAGA are getting labeled with. And I started thinking back, was anybody in that 1776 restoration movement that was down in DC and eventually went to Bunker Hill? Was anybody in that movement not weird, crazy, or weird, creepy, or dangerous? I
Weird
know
creep.
that. Well, the what was her name? Nasty Audrey or something like that. Uh,
She was, yeah, naughty girl Aubrey.
Naughty girl Aubrey.
She
Okay,
was she was watching the trial today.
she was
Yeah,
okay. I didn't see her name in there.
there were a lot of people
There were a lot
watching.
of people watching. Yeah, and it would have been a decent chat if we'd have been able to all chat. But anyway,
But what were you asking? Any of
you,
them
you
normal?
yeah, you know these, the because if you look at the core group, you look at Oreo and Santa and uh Dummy is all I can
Yeah.
think of at the moment. What was his name? Big D.
Mm-hmm.
Um uh the flag waving dude. I see I haven't thought about these people for a long
Golden
time.
Chariot.
Golden Chariot.
He
Um
was just live today
really?
for the first time, and he's off of. He admitted that he was smoking crack, and that
Well,
now
good for
he's
him.
having, yeah, that he's having trouble
Yeah.
because he's in a lot of pain from his pelvis. And I'm thinking, yeah, because you were smoking crack and standing on top of
A
a
fire
effing
truck.
fire truck, and you fell down like an idiot.
Yeah,
But
and you don't, just because you may be weird, creepy, and dangerous now, you don't have to be that way the rest of your life. You
right.
can quit. You can quit crack or whatever it is that's making you that way,
Hmm.
and get back to being, yeah.
Well, asking me what's normal, maybe I'm not so normal myself. I am a unicorn.
Well, yeah, but at the
But
same time, these people better than anybody.
well, see, Barry. Okay, so when started my protesting back home at my house, I invited, like, I talked to everybody. It didn't matter social class. It didn't matter if you were homeless. I like everybody, and so I did draw some very kind of out there people. No lie. So
Yeah.
when I got in with the convoy and stuff, it wasn't so out there.
Okay.
Some of these people, I accept a lot of crazy behavior anyway because that's just who I am. But it became very evident, I think, after I pulled away from all that, and then all the semi-normal people were gone, and all that
Right.
was left was the
Yeah.
little tiny
Yeah. I first started
diehard
watching.
crazies.
And there were some intelligent people involved and talking on live stream about, how they were, how things should be done. And, we've got to have legal representations. And there were some people, maybe they were on the fringe of the organization, but there were some people that I thought, okay, these people aren't, they're not, uh, weird,
Crazies.
creepy, and crazy
Weird and
and dangerous. And none of those people didn't last long at all, including yourself. You know, it seemed like all the people that wanted some kind of normal existence as well, um, weren't committed enough to the cause, and they were shoved away.
I think that a lot of people had a lower tolerance for the bad actor kind of thing, and the
Yeah,
super duper crazy. At the end, all that was left were the crazies or the
yeah,
grifters, one of the two. Like you were talking about, there's two kinds. There were two kinds of people there. There were true believers that cared for a cause, and then there were people that were there to grift off and make money off people
yeah,
and come out on top. And so 76 was that bad group, and there's a few true believers thrown in there,
yeah,
but for the most part, the people who are live streaming and trying to keep it alive are not good people. No, they're creepy. And then that's why I was saying I was glad about the trial today, because they've been violent, and I've been seeing it for 2 years now, and they need to stop
Yeah. Yeah.
weaponizing the courts.
Believe what you want to believe. That's, but as the current Democratic vice presidential candidate likes to say, mind your own damn business. Believe what you want to believe, but and keep your hands off of each other.
Yeah, and here's another thing, Barry. If
And we
you
got to
if
talk
you
about this, Lori, because things are liable to get crazy here in the country here.
they
Uh,
they are.
they we've got we got we got pro-Palestinian, we got pro-Israeli, you know we got all these different factions that it seems like are agitating against each other, and we need to remind people of civility, and you can exercise your rights without impending or impeding on somebody else's rights.
Yes, yes. And I agree with that. The temperature has gotten so high that it's like it seems like with everybody they're trying to everybody's allowed a voice and everybody wants their voice to be heard. But in the process of doing that, you don't get to be violent towards other people. I
Right.
don't care what side you're on.
Right.
You're not
Right.
allowed to,
Yeah.
and so there's rules, your voice is not violence. It's not supposed to be. And I think there's a much better way to do it that maybe we need to start somehow. I don't really know how to do it, but that we need to start finding ways to, well, yeah, come together. That's what's been beautiful about the protesting against like 76 was that all people from all different, maybe they're even political enemies in other areas, on the political field, but they could still join for a cause that they all agree on.
Yeah. And by the way, when I said I would go out and live stream protests against Ant, it's not because I've got anything personally against Ant. It's just that I could really use the money if they're going to pay me to go do something like that.
There's
uh,
nothing wrong with protesting somebody, especially when
no, I
they're
know, but I
not
don't
a
have.
nice
I mean,
person.
yeah, but as far as you know, um, unless I was getting paid decent money, I wouldn't be out protesting an individual like Ant. Um, but he must have really honked somebody off, somebody with
He,
money.
he's honked a lot of somebody's off, and gone against some cult that has
Oh
a lot
yeah.
of money.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of money in Scientology. Yeah.
Okay, so all the stuff that 76 did, they learned as they went along with like manipulating the courts and all this other stuff. Um Scientology literally has like their founder, he wrote out exactly how to do it, that all that stuff. How to target somebody and target everybody they know, make them lose their job, make them lose their friends, make them lose everything they have, and make their life so miserable that they either come back to what you want them to do, or they, I don't know, kill themselves, get,
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
That's what they want. They want you to go away.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
All right. Um, anything else? Any other gossip?
I can't think of anything really.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, recapping then, AP performed performed really well in court, I thought.
She did.
Uh,
She did.
the defense attorney tried to paint her as something she's not, and she
Oh
did
yeah,
really
using her
well.
views
Yeah. Yeah.
that she live streams.
Yeah. You know, I guess some live streamers can buy a former president's cars, but the live streamers I know, most of us can't even afford our own car payments, let alone buy somebody a brand new Tesla and put a wrap job on it. So um,
I
something's
found
going
it
on.
amazing that they wanted to go. They wanted to go after her for her live streaming and like where she gets her money, monetization, all that stuff, and collect how many views she gets and all this. When he live streams too, and yeah, we know where he gets his money.
Yeah.
He gets them from all these people for live streaming.
All right. Anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
Uh,
It was nice
it,
talking to you.
it's so good talking to you again. It was
I
so good
miss
having
talking
you
with you.
on. All right. Next time, please get Pluck on with you.
Oh, we'll try.
All right. Please try to. All right.
We sure
Thank.
will.
Was that her voice in the background?
No, that was me.
Okay. All right. I was going to say I'm not going to count that, but um,
It would be nice for you to interview her. I'd like to hear that.
yeah, I'd like to. What was the name of the girl? Because I'm going back to weird, creepy, and dangerous, and the girl that wanted to like chop you up and feed her to her pigs.
Oh, yes. Freedom Ninja.
Freedom Ninja. Yes, that
Yeah,
was.
Chelsea.
Again, I haven't thought about these people in such a long time, and it was such, man, it was such an intense summer as a viewer, and you and Pluck and Telly and AP and Ant and
Oh,
all
it was
all lived it. It
it
was
was crazy.
it was, and it'll never be duplicated, but it will be
Nope.
but it will be remembered and referenced for a very, very long time.
Hey, I came
Yeah.
out of it with some friends, so
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me on, Barry.
All right.
Love ya.
Love you too,
Bye-bye.
darling. We'll see you soon. Bye bye. The one and only Lori Arnold, everybody. And again, just to recap, it does not appear that a strike from Iran towards Israel is imminent. It does not appear as if the attacks on Tim Walz by the Republicans are going to work, as the poll numbers just keep going up, as we heard from Frank Luntz. If you didn't catch that, go back and watch it at the beginning. And we will make it one more day, it looks like, here on the American Doofus channel. So thank you all for being here. We will be back Friday night at 9 with Chris, possibly 10 with Chris. It all depends. And but we will be back on Friday night with Chris and a situation report as Ukraine has invaded Russia, which totally flips the script and could be the biggest story that nobody's talking about, but we'll find out. I'm not planning on being on tomorrow night. If I am on, it means something's going on that we need to talk about, and we'll be on here doing it. Again, thanks, Boss Money, Butterflies, Nancy, peace, love, and sunshine. Thank you all for being here tonight. Everybody watching, whether you're in the chat, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching at your convenience, greatly appreciate you giving us a view. Hit up the like button if you would. If you're not a subscriber, consider doing that, as well as ringing the notification bell. And we will be back on very soon. Namaste. Blessings from God to those that wish them, and may God have mercy on the United States of America, on our democratic system, and on the entire world. We could really use some peace. It's a dark world. Be a light. Love you all.